Well, hello world and welcome to my live. And today we are making a raisin spice cake. And this one is, I actually have to cut this down. It's made to make this huge sheet pan thing. And I'm only going to cut it down to, I'm cutting it down to a quarter of the amount of what it says. So this is going to make one 8x8, kind of a half size cake. It's like one layer of cake. So you can double this if you want to. So what we're going to do, we're going to blend. It's going to start with the dry ingredients. Okay, I've made this once before, but I don't remember all of it. We're going to take our flour, which is 1 3/4 cup plus a tablespoon. So let me get our flour. 1. Oh, I'm knocking everything down here. Get a cup. Let's see what this is. This is a cup and a half. Yeah. Okay, so this is a cup and a half. Get my flour here. So it's interesting. We're going to mix the dry ingredients here first. Okay, so let me get this mixed around. See if I can. I have my flour thing here a little too full. Here's where I am right here. It's a little too full because it wasn't quite empty, but I dumped my new thing of flour in here. It's a little full. Just a little full. It's okay. We're going to make this work. So I'm going to take a knife and I'm going to take a spoon. I'm going to spoon the flour into my, I stirred it a little bit with a whisk so it isn't packed, so it won't be too heavy with flour. This is a cup and a half, so I'm really going to need another quarter of a cup after this. Okay, there's that. So let's level this off. And there's one. And then another quarter cup. This will help get my volume of flour down a little bit too. I'm trying to make lists and take stock of what I need right now for Thanksgiving, and see what I might have enough of and not have enough of. Hopefully I have enough flour. Okay, so that's a cup and a half. I need 1 3/4 plus a tablespoon. So here's going to be the other quarter. So I have 1 2/4. This is the third quarter. And then a tablespoon. Because I'm cutting this so far down, it's weird amounts. But I did not make up this recipe. There we go. Okay, and then the rest of it's a cup and a half. I'm going to get the flour out of the way. We are now done with that. Made this once before with like prunes instead of raisins. It was really good, but I'm going to do raisins this time. Oh, one of the things it tells me to do is to take warm water, which is right here, warm water from the tap, and put your raisins in there to plump them 2 to 5 minutes. So let's put the raisins in there, and we're just going to let it sit in that warm water. I'll set it for 5 minutes. So they'll be nice and plump. Okay, so there's that. So that's going to be all in. We're going to put this all into our mixer here. Let me go back over to this. Okay, so that's our flour. The next we're going to put in there a cup plus a tablespoon of sugar. All right, so let me get my cup of sugar. I have so much of it in here that's still, this is still my slightly wet bag of sugar that I got when I got groceries and it was pouring down rain. Still haven't used up all this sugar yet from this. So it's a little hard to get this at level. So there's a cup plus a tablespoon. So if you made this full amount, you wouldn't have these weird measurements, but. Alright, so there's our sugar. So then we're going to add 1/8 of a cup, which is 2 tablespoons of instant non-fat dry milk. Now, I had a hard time finding that. That is actually in the canned milk aisle of the store. That's what that is right here. Instant non-fat dry milk. Do I use that for anything else? No, I do not. Luckily, it has a really good long date on it. So we're going to put 2 tablespoons of that. in here. Let me level that off. There's that. Now I've got my oven preheating. Okay, now we're going to add, what else does this, let me check my list here. All the way through the spices. Okay, so we're going to add in a tablespoon of baking powder. Okay. Tablespoon of baking powder. Then we're going to add 3/8 of a teaspoon of salt. This one actually has a little eighth. That's a 1/4 and an 1/8 actually. Okay. 1/4 and an 1/8 of salt. So like I say, 3/8. I've got so much rice in this thing. Okay, here we go. See, look there. Make sure I filter out the rice. There's the salt. Okay, so then we're going to do, this actually has a little cocoa powder in it. It has a teaspoon plus 1/8 of a teaspoon. I know it's a weird amount, but here we go. Cocoa, unsweetened cocoa powder. Doesn't have much, but 1 teaspoon. I don't even know that you'll know that's there, but whoever made up this recipe decided we needed this in there. Teaspoon. Really won't taste chocolate. Maybe this just makes it a little darker. Here is 1/8 of a teaspoon also. Okay, there we go of that. Let me put that over here with the salt. Okay, so let's see where we're at here. We are now at 3/16 of a teaspoon of cloves. All right, so let me find my thing where I got that little size measuring spoon. Oh, there's my little cake tester. Let's get that out. Almost time to drain the raisins. It should be plumped. Okay, 3/16. That's an 1/8 and a 1/16. Okay, so here we have, is that what this is? A 1/16? It's an 1/8. Yeah, okay, so here is, this is what, cloves I'm doing? Yes, cloves, okay. So there's 2/16 and 1 more 1/16, which is this little, if you ever find one of these, they're so cool. That even takes you to 1/32 of that's like called a pinch and a dash and a smidgen, but it's really accurate. Accurate measurement, so you can actually use it. Okay, so then we're going to, if you need to, so then you're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Get my cinnamon, and we're about done with the dry ingredients here. And we're about done with the raisins too. Okay, turn that off. Let me go ahead and get my 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon in here. There you go. There we are. Okay, so now it says you're going to take all of these and you're going to beat it for a minute till it's mixed together on low speed. Okay, let me go drain my raisins while I do that. Just low. Kicking up some dust over here. Okay, so then we are going to we're going to combine our liquid. I got to figure out what we're doing here. Okay, so we're going to combine the eggs, the vanilla, and water. Okay, so I need 2 eggs. Let me see what I can put this in. This has so many little extra things. Oh, I know. Let's just use this measuring cup. Okay, so we're going to do 2 eggs. Okay. Here's 1 egg. sure the egg is good. I usually try to get these room temperature or fairly close to room temperatures. They say you should do that for baking. You know, let it set out for half an hour or something. I don't think it's been quite that long, but that's okay. Okay. There's my 2 eggs. These are nice looking big eggs here. All right, and get rid of all this. All the way over here. Okay, so then we're going to do the water. I am going to need 3/4 of a cup of water. All right, let me get that measured. Put my ingredients away over here. Oops. 3/4 of a cup of water. I'm making all kind of racket. Oh, I'm not going to step over apparently. Okay, there we go. There's 3/4 of a cup of water. So first, let's get our eggs. Can you see the eggs in the thing here? I don't think you can. Hi, Carla. Happy Sunday. It's still Saturday night here, but that's okay. Happy Sunday to you. There's my eggs right here. Okay, so then I'm making this right here. I'm making raisin spice cake. There's our picture. That was a quick look, wasn't it? Okay, so let's mix this up. These are 2 eggs, and I've cut this down to 1/4 size here. This will make about basically 1 cake layer of cake. 2 eggs, 3/4 of a cup of water. Gonna mix it in here with the eggs. And then you're going to add vanilla. So you're going to add 3/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla into there. Lost my measuring spoons. Oh, here they are. Okay, so here's 1/4 teaspoon, so we want 3 of those. 1. Ooh, we're sloshing a little bit. 2. 3. And that's probably a little extra. That's okay. All right, there we go. All right, so there's our liquids. And then what it says you're going to do, you're going to add shortening and about half the liquid to the dry ingredients. Beat for 30 seconds on low, and then beat it some more on medium. Okay, so here we go. Here's our dry ingredients. Yummy. Yes, good for fall. It's good for any time. I like this one because this is like a snack cake. You don't even have to ice it. That just had powdered sugar on it. You can put icing on it, or you can just eat it like that. And it's less sugar, and it's really, really good. Be good with tea or coffee or whatever you like. So I'm going to do half a cup of shortening. I think you could also use butter. So let me measure that in here. Here's where I'm putting it in here. Let me see if I can move this back over again. Oh gosh. And I'm about to tip it. I'm trying not to tip it. There we go. I got this other tripod thing thinking it would be better. There is a lot about it that is better, except it's still real tippy. It's tipsy. And you can't bump it or over it goes. It's top heavy. I need to like set it in concrete or something. It needs some heavier feet. I need a plan. What can I do to get it to be where it's heavier on the bottom? All right, so there we go. Let's get rid of that. If you use butter, you want softened butter. Now let's see, what did it say again? Put half, no, add the shortening and half the liquid. Okay, so the shortening. Back to our pan. Half a cup. Half the liquid. Come on, there we go. All right, there we go. Got shortening my hand. All right, here we go. Half the liquid. A little bit more. There we go. And then we're going to stir it on low to start. Okay, then we're going to beat it on medium. I think we need a little more liquid. There we go. So I'm just using that size pan, so it's like a 1-layer cake pan. I'm going to spray it to get it ready. Get rid of it. I don't need this bit. I don't want to get spray on it. There you go. Okay, so we're going to go back to this, and then we're going to add the rest of the liquid. I think that's what it says next. Add remaining liquid. Yep, okay, that's where we're at. Turn that back on low for a minute. Yummy batter. Okay, so what I'm doing now with these raisins that I plumped up a little bit, I'm drying them off because I actually want to. It doesn't tell you to do this in this recipe, but I want to put a little flour on them and put them in because if you put flour on them, they don't sink to the bottom. Cool little trick. All right, so I'm just patting them between paper towels over here. Then I'm going to put them back in my strainer and put some flour in there. Okay, let me put them back in the strainer here. Okay. Try to get them in the strainer and not all over the sink. And get a little flour. It's strange how that actually keeps them from sinking, but it does. Okay, so and it doesn't matter, like, you know, 1/4 cup or less of flour in there. Just enough where you can coat the raisins and you're going to shake off the extra with the strainer. Just shake it off into the sink. Shake them all around here. Shake off the extra. Knock off the extra. You really don't want extra flour. Okay, here we go. Thank you. Cool tip. That's what we have. Flour-coated raisins. You can do this with chocolate chips, too, if you add chocolate chips to something and you hate it that they sink to the bottom. There's something magic about coating them with flour. It won't sink to the bottom. Okay, there we go. So then we're going to add that. You can also add nuts to this if you like nuts. So let's see, it would be, well, they have a weird amount here, too. So I'd have to cut that down. It'd be a 1/4 cup. I'd say about close to a third a cup of nuts. Chopped nuts if you want, but I don't like nuts, so I don't ever do that. Okay, so then you're going to put the raisins, and you can leave the raisins out too if you want to. You're going to blend that. So let's mix. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to put it in our pan, because we are pretty much done here. You can also use chopped prunes instead of the raisins, which I actually made it with that one time. It's really good. But I wanted to just use raisins this time because I haven't tried that. So we're going to bake it at 375. It says for 35 minutes. I'll check it earlier than that, though, just to be sure. Let's go back over here to our pan. Take off our bowl. And then let's see if I can get all this batter out of here. It looks very, very yummy. It really makes a pretty moist cake. Raisins help a lot to make it moist. I would think you could probably put any fruit in this, any dried fruit that you wanted. Raisins and chopped prunes work really well. This is actually called the USDA School Cafeteria Spice Cake Squares. So this is like a spice cake recipe they used to make in the American schools when I was a kid. And I'm telling you, it was really good. We didn't always have good school food, but the spice cake was good. Okay, so let me get this rinsed off here real quick. I want to rinse this flour off my sink so it doesn't get glued down here. So if you want a full-size cake in like a 9 by 13 pan, you know, the regular rectangular size, then just double everything I did. Rinse all this stuff down here, and yeah, it's turning to paste in the sink. We'll get rid of this. Everything has got flour on it in here now. Get rid of it. Just get first. We've got several little things here in the way. There, I think we've pretty much got it down the drain. Okay, so let's scrape all this into our bowl. Put it in our oven, and we are done for the night. And tomorrow I will make the regular part of the dinner. Here we go. I think I'm out of range here, and I'm out of where it shows. I'm not used to aiming this new thing. I'm doing a terrible job of it. Okay, here we go. I think this is gonna be yummy. It's gonna smell so good because it has cinnamon and cloves in it. Smell all warm and spicy when it's baking. Okay, I'm gonna spread that around. There we go. Put it in the oven. And we're done. Set it for, I'm going to check it in 30 minutes, just to be safe. I don't remember if I cooked it the whole time last time. I may have, but we'll check it. And there you go. Thank you for watching. I hope you found a new yummy recipe to try. And I will talk to you later, and I'll see you in the morning for makeup. And, well, it'll be morning for me. It'll be night for you. It'll be later. So I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.